What would you do if your friend leaked your private photos to the whole school? What if you got blamed for smashing a teacher's car when you weren't even there? And what if your crush's dad caught you mid-date and called your parents? Hi, I'm Gabby, a relationship coach who loves Minecraft and helping people like you when you do not know where to turn next. Stick around because these stories only get crazier the longer you watch. Story 1. My mate leaked my private photos. All I wanted was a laugh. It was a boring Wednesday evening. I was sat in my room with nothing to do, so I took a stupid selfie using the silliest face filter I could find. Big nose, bug eyes, cartoon moustache, the works. I sent it to my best mate privately, expecting a simple lol back. He didn't just laugh, he screenshotted it and dropped it in our group chat with the caption, "Look what he's just sent me." Within seconds, the boys were spamming laughing emojis, and someone cropped it and made it their profile picture. By bedtime, the photo had made it onto Snapchat stories with captions like, "School mascot reveal." The next morning, my phone had blown up. Tags, mentions, DMs, everyone had seen it. Walking into school felt like walking into a football stadium where everyone had turned up just to laugh at me. Year 7s I didn't even know were doing the face at me in the corridor. At break time, one of the teachers even showed me their phone and said, "You made the staff WhatsApp group. You brightened our day." My face was on our teacher's phone. By lunch, I was properly humiliated. I wasn't angry at the meme. I was angry that something I thought was private was suddenly everyone's entertainment. I told my mate he'd crossed a line. He just shrugged and said, "Relax, it's just banter." But it didn't seem like banter anymore. It felt like I'd lost control of my own image, like everyone had permission to laugh at me, and I couldn't do anything about it. Do I just let it blow over, clap back with my own joke, or call him out properly and risk losing like I can't take a joke? Oh no, that's next level betrayal, and it's not just about the picture, it's about trust. Here's what I would do. Talk to him in private. Don't do it in front of the group. Say, "That was private and posting it embarrassed me." Ask him to delete it. A proper friend should care that you are upset and take it down straight away. Set clear boundaries. Tell him, "I can't trust you with stuff like this. I won't be sharing anything with you again." Here's the thing. You are allowed to find something funny and still admit it crossed a line. Don't escalate with revenge posting. That just keeps the drama alive longer. The bigger lesson? Privacy is priceless. Friends who respect you will protect your secrets, not turn them into group chat content. Let's dive into some Minecraft mechanics. The last time, I built a wall around this village to keep the villagers safe and started laying the groundwork for population growth. Step 1 today is simple but important. Lighting. By placing torches in dark areas and preventing hostile mobs like zombies, skeletons, or creepers from spawning inside the walls. If you don't do this, even a single dark patch can turn into a disaster when night falls. And trust me, zombies love nothing more than breaking down doors and going after villagers. Now, villagers themselves follow a very specific daily rhythm. During the day, they wander around, work at their job sites if they have one, and occasionally trade with players. But when the sun sets, each villager in the game is hardwired to look for a bed. If their old bed is gone or blocked, they'll try to claim the nearest one available. That behaviour is what we're going to use to our advantage. The trick here is relocation. If you take away all the scattered beds throughout the village and instead place a cluster of new ones inside a single building, the villagers will all migrate there at night. The first evening might look a little chaotic as they run around trying to claim spots. But once they sleep in a bed, that becomes their permanent choice. From then on, every night, they'll automatically return to that same bed. Why does this matter? Well, centralising your villagers gives you more control. It makes protecting them easier because they are all in one safe, lit-up building rather than scattered around the village. It also makes breeding much more efficient. In Minecraft, villager breeding is tied to the number of beds. As long as there are unclaimed beds and the villagers are well fed, they'll produce babies to fill those beds. That's how you grow your population. And eventually, you can build up a bustling village with dozens of residents. And beyond the technical side, it's actually kind of entertaining to watch. Imagine 20 or 30 villagers all marching into the same house at sundown, piling into beds like a giant sleepover. It looks a little silly, but it works perfectly with village management. So that's the plan. I'll keep working on the lighting and get the new communal house built. Once everything's in place, you'll see this whole system in action, and while I'm setting that up, I'll read you some more stories. If you thought the first story was rough, the next one is worse. It ends with me being accused of something I didn't even do and dragged into the head teacher's office. Quick pause. Can you check you are subscribed? YouTube sometimes unticks it without you knowing. Subscribing is free and it helps me keep making these videos for you. Let's get into story 2. I got blamed for smashing the teacher's car. All I wanted was a chill Friday night gaming session. That night, someone smashed the wing mirror of Mrs. C's car in the school car park. The next morning, before I even sat down, the prefect came to me and said, "Head teacher wants you." Apparently, someone said they saw me near the car park after school. I explained I'd been home playing Warzone all evening. I even had messages to prove it. But the head teacher wasn't convinced. They then called my parents in. Sitting there while my mum looks disappointed was brutal. When my dad heard, he gave me that look, the one that says, "I taught you better." To make it worse, they said I had to pay half of my allowance towards the cost of repairs to teach responsibility. Back in class, everyone was whispering I'd finally gone too far. Someone even made a fake GoFundMe for the teacher's car and posted it in the group chat. By the end of the day, I was furious and embarrassed. My mates kept asking me if I actually did it. Even though I kept saying no, I could tell they just didn't believe me. Do I take the punishment and move on, or fight to clear my name? This is one of the moments that feels so unfair, because you are being judged on your reputation, not the facts. Here's what I would do. Stay calm and collected. Losing it just makes you look like you've got something to hide. Bring evidence. Show your game logs, texts, or ask a mate who was with you online to back you up. Protect your future. Tell the school, "I'll do what you ask, but I need it recorded. I didn't do this." Here's why this matters. People will believe the loudest version of the story unless you speak up. You can take the short-term punishment while still standing on the truth. That way, your reputation long-term stays intact. All right, let's jump back into some Minecraft talk. I've decided the perfect spot for our new communal building is right in that empty space between the church and the weaponsmith's shop. It's a nice central location, easy for villagers to reach, and it keeps everything connected. For materials, I'm going with oak planks, oak logs, and a bit of cobblestone. Nothing fancy yet, but practical and easy to gather in bulk. Later on, once the basics of the village are all set, I'd like to come back and rework the whole place with more exotic blocks. Imagine swapping in deep slate, maybe some terracotta or even quartz to give it more personality. But for now, simple survival block will do the job. I'm pretty excited to see this building come together. Though realistically, I doubt I'll have it fully finished in this episode. So hey, if you want to see the final result, you might have to come back for the next one. That's the fun of this series. It's a slow but steady transformation, and we'll get to watch the village evolve over time. If you missed the last episode, let me catch you up. I stumbled across this village that just happened to be not one, not two, but 3 weaponsmiths already living here. That's huge, because weaponsmiths are some of the best traders in the game once you level them up. And as an added bonus, the whole village overlooks a gorgeous valley below. The setting is perfect for turning this into something special. My overall plan is to transform this place into a fully functional trading hub. I'll be adding in plenty of job site blocks. Everything from fletching tables to grindstones to lecterns, so we can assign professions and unlock some of the most valuable trades in the game. If I do this right, we'll have access to enchanted tools, armour, and books without even needing to step foot in the Nether. In fact, I was thinking I should make this a challenge. Maybe I set a personal rule, like I can't go to the Nether unless I've unlocked mending from a librarian villager. That way, it's not just about building and trading. It's about setting goals and earning those upgrades step by step. And honestly, I'd love to hear your ideas. Drop a comment and let me know what kind of ridiculous goal I should take on. And who knows, I might actually do it. All right, with that plan in mind, I'm just going to keep laying out this new building. While I'm working on the walls and the foundation, let's jump back into another story. Okay, so the previous stories were bad, but this last one is nightmare fuel if you've ever been caught on a date. Story 3. My crush's dad walked in on us. All I wanted was a calm evening with my crush, some snacks and a film. Her parents had said they would be out, so we got comfy and pressed play. Cheeky Netflix. Halfway through the film, the front door slammed. Her dad came in, saw us sitting together, and absolutely lost it. He told me to stand up and made me wait in the hallway while he called my parents. He paced like a police officer, ranting about respect and boundaries. When my parents arrived, I was dragged home and grounded for a week. Now I'm banned from her house. Her dad still glares at me at school events. It feels like I've ruined everything, and I'm not sure if I should even text her or just let things die down. Do I apologise to her dad, keep my distance, or wait it out and hope he calls off? This one is mortifying, but it's not the end of the world. Here's how I'd handle it. Face it, don't hide it. Next time you see him, say, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have disrespected your house." Show you've learned, be polite, keep your distance, and make it clear you respect his rules. Keep talking to your crush. Don't let this turn into a silent breakup. Tell her you still like her and you want to make things right. Parents can be protective, especially when they are surprised. This will be embarrassing for a while. If you handle it maturely, you'll eventually be allowed back. Story 4. I caught feelings for my mate's sister. All I wanted was a normal weekend with my mate. Saturdays had a rhythm. FIFA tournaments, endless banter, snacks from the corner shop, sometimes a walk to the chicken shop if we had coins to spare. It was simple, safe, predictable. But then came the shift. Not with him, but with his sister. She was older, confident, funny, always drifting through the lounge, sometimes ignoring us, sometimes dropping one savage line that left us in stitches. I don't even remember the moment it changed, but one day I looked at her and realised I was noticing her differently. And once you notice, you can't unnotice. The first time I realised it was getting serious was in the middle of a FIFA match. He wandered in, grabbed a crisp from our bowl, and without hesitation said, "Your hair looks like you lost a fight with a pigeon." I laughed, too hard. The controller slipped from my hands. My mate paused the game and stared. "Stop flirting with my friends." She rolled her eyes. I'm literally saving him from public embarrassment. Then she left, just like that. But I couldn't stop smiling. Later that night, he DM'd me a meme about bad haircuts. My stomach dropped, my chest buzzed, my brain raced. I sent back a laugh emoji. That's how it started. The DMs kept coming. Harmless things, TikToks, memes, inside jokes. But each one felt like a spark. Of course he noticed. One night after I'd been round, he messaged, "Bruh, you were staring at my sister." My thumbs froze. Do I admit it? Deny? I panicked. "What? Nah, you're tripping." He just replied with the eyes emoji. Somehow, that was worse than words. The next week, his sister sat with us for a little bit. He teased me about my trainers being granddad shoes. I laughed way too much. He noticed again. And then came the big one. In the kitchen, she casually asked, "So, are you seeing anyone?" I nearly spat my drink out. "Nah." She smirked. "Figured you'd be awkward on a date." Then she flicked some toast crust at me. My mate walked in that exact second, ketchup in his hand. "What's going on?" I said nothing, way too fast. His eyes narrowed. It didn't stop. One evening, she sent a selfie, asking if her new top looked alright. I stared at it for minutes, wondering, was this normal? Or was it just her teasing me? My brain screamed both answers at once. The guilt hit hard. She offered me tea, and without thinking I said, "I could marry you for that." She laughed it off, but my mate didn't. He just looked at me, silent. That night, she texted, "Bold comment," eyes emoji. My heart sank. Now I'm stuck. Every time I see her, my chest tightens. Every time I see him, I feel like I'm lying. The thought of sneaking around makes me sick, but the thought of saying nothing and missing my chance is worse. Do I risk the friendship and go for it? Or bury the crush and regret it forever? This is the ultimate mate versus crush dilemma. Honestly, it's a proper test of loyalty. Here's how I'd tackle it. Step 1. Keep the chats respectful. If you wouldn't want your mate to see it, don't type it. That rule saves you from sneaky screenshots and blown up RAM. Step 2. Be upfront with your mate. Yeah, I know. Terrifying. And think about it. If he hears it from her, or worse, through the grapevine, it looks shady no matter what. You don't need to confess your underlying love. Just say, "Mate, I think your sister is cool. I don't want to go behind your back." That honestly alone shows maturity. Then be ready for both answers. If he says fine, then respect it's your baseline. No messing about. If he says absolutely not, then you decide, is the friendship worth more than the crush? Because crushes fade, but breaking trust can haunt you. Also, look at the big picture. Sneaking around mates makes it messier than it needs to be. Being upfront might be awkward for a week, but sneaky behaviour will wreck things for months. Play it honest, respect first. Whatever happens, you'll walk away knowing you chose integrity. That matters more than a risky DM. If you thought having a crush on your mate's sister was messy, wait until you hear how one of my so-called best mates completely turned against me and made me the laughingstock of the whole school. Quick pause. Can you double check you are subscribed? Sometimes YouTube unsubscribes you without realising. Subscribing is free, and it means you won't miss the next one. Story 5. My best mate turned on me in a fight. It was a sunny lunch break, and all I wanted was to chill. I just cracked open a bag of Skittles when two mates started arguing over a borrowed hoodie. At first, it was funny, just banter, but voices got louder, shoves got closer, and suddenly the mood shifted. I stepped in, hands out, trying to cool things down. But instead of stopping, they shoved me. Once, twice, the second sent me flying into the grass. Phones whipped out instantly. A circle formed. People started chanting. And then it came to the real sting. My best mate pulled out his phone, not to back me up, not to stop it, for film. "World star," he yelled, grinning. The crowd howled. A teacher blew the whistle. The crowd scattered, but the damage was done. By that evening, the clip was everywhere. Someone slowed down the moment I hit the grass and added all these side effects. Caption, "Down goes me." It spread faster than wildfire. Even year 7s were quoting it. And my so-called mate, he just sent me a laughing emoji and said, "Bro, you went viral." Do I forgive him? Demand he takes it down? Or cut him off completely? This isn't about getting shoved. It's about loyalty, and your mate failed the test, mate. Here's how I would approach it. Step 1. Say it privately. No group chats, no crowd. Face to face or one-to-one. You filmed me when I needed you. That's not what mates do. Demand action, not excuses. Delete what you can. Tell people it's down. If he genuinely respects you, he'll act. Step 3. Decide your boundary. If he takes it seriously, maybe the friendship can heal. If he doubles down, you've got your answer. Clout matters more to him than you. The truth is, school drama moves quick, but people remember who was loyal when it counted. A real mate would back you, not sell you out for likes. Choose wisely who stays in your circle. If betrayal stung, this next one proves how a laugh spiral into disaster and nearly get me expelled. Story 6. The hip-hop prank that went too far. Everyone was doing the ankle grab pranking class. I wanted in. During science, I slid under the desk and grabbed my mate's ankle mid-lesson. He screamed. Class erupted, phones out, everyone howling. But then, the teacher slipped, trying to rush over, nearly cracked her head open. The laughter vanished in an instant. My stomach rocked. I was dragged to the office. Parents called. They talked about exclusion. Meanwhile, the clip was online before I could even get home. Hundreds of likes, everyone laughing except me. Do I own it and take the punishment, or argue it was all just a joke? This one's simple. It stopped being funny when someone got hurt. Here's your way through. Step 1. Own it. Don't dodge, don't excuse. It was meant as a joke, but I see it was dangerous. Prepare what you can. Get the video taken down. Apologise to the teacher. Even volunteer to help out. That shows growth. And accept the consequence. Yeah, punishment sucks, but responsibility sticks. People respect someone who admits fault and come back stronger. Big picture? Likes fade in days. Records stick for years. Better to flip the story, not the prankster who nearly got expelled, but the guy who took accountability. That's the kind of comeback people actually rate. Well, those were some very interesting stories. Let's get back into some Minecraft talk as we close out today's episode. I've made some solid progress on the villager communal building. It's really starting to take shape. At this point, I'm down to the finishing touches, cleaning up block arrangements, balancing the layout, and making sure the interior has plenty of open space. This may not be the flashiest part of the build, but it sets the stage for what's coming next. In our next episode, we'll finally start adding in the beds for the villagers. That's where the real magic begins. Because once they have beds, the entire breeding and trading system comes to life. Are we focusing on resources like leather from cows and paper from sugarcane, so I can craft bookshelves and lecterns? That'll let me assign librarians right away. Probably the single most useful villager profession in this game. If I can lock down a mending trade early, that'll give me an almost unfair advantage by letting me repair gear indefinitely. And of course, that ties into my first personal challenge of this series. No nether travel until I've obtained mending through a villager trade. It makes progress more interesting and forces me to get creative in the overworld first. I'm genuinely so excited to see how this little village evolves from here, and I'd love for you to be a part of that journey. Stick around for future videos as we expand together. And if you've got ideas, whether it's structures, farms, or even fun challenges, leave them in the comments. I might just feature one of your ideas in an upcoming episode. And as always, if you've got stories you would like me to read, drop those in the comments too. I love including your voices in this series. Good morning. Well, technically the next morning. And the villager communal house is finished. I think this is a good point to wrap up the video, since I like to keep each episode around the 30-minute mark. If you'd prefer longer episodes, let me know and I'll see what I can do. Most importantly, if you enjoyed today's video, I'd be so grateful if you click that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow, and I can't thank you enough for your support. Once again, I'm Gabby, and it's been an absolute pleasure spending this time with you today. I'll see you in the next video.